Good evening to all of you, and it's a pleasure welcoming you all for this weekly market presentation of SC Securities. And let me begin with the market performance, and then we'll focus on some key economic highlights for this week and some insights and top news from global market front. The international market fronts are also expected to present today. So, starting off with the stock market performance for this week, market gained a positive start, reporting gains in both the indices of SPI and S&P SL20. So, SPI during Monday's trading session gained 164 points to close at 9,191.52, whereas S&P SL20 index also gained 25 points to close at 3,097.30. So the concerns regarding political stability and the impressive quarterly results from majority of the companies were the major reason to the said pickup in both the indices. So investors rallied on these two reasons, and they altogether reported a net turnover of about 5 billion, which is exactly a value of 5.8 billion during Monday's trading session. That was almost twice higher of this year's daily average turnover. If we have a look at the foreign purchases and sales aspect, foreign sales, however, picked up to report a value of 238 million over 120 million worth of purchases reported. But anyhow, this positive sentiment or the bullish run was somewhat turned around to a result decline in both indices during Tuesday's and Wednesday's trading sessions. So accordingly, during Tuesday's trading session, the SPI lost 105 points to close at 9,086.24, and S&P SL20 index also lost 59 points to close at 3,037.59. And same when it comes to Wednesday's trading session also, SPI further declined by 178 points to close at 8,907.35, and S&P SL20 index also lost 90 points to close at 2,947. So the reason for this kind of a negative sentiment within the market was investors profit realizing. They kept on taking profits after 12 consecutive sessions of winning streak, and with that the turnover during Tuesday's trading session reported a value of 5.4 billion. But on a positive note, foreigners sticked with buying side, and they reported 194 million worth of purchases during Tuesday's trading session, over 58 million worth of foreign sales. And during Wednesday's trading session, however, turnover declined to report a value of just 3.7 billion, and for another straight session, foreigners continue to buy, and they report a total purchases of 120 million over 43 million worth of sales. And when it comes to latter part of the week, during Thursdays and Friday trading sessions, market gained a rise back to positive territory with small gains in both the indices. So accordingly, during Thursday's trading session, the SPI gained 3 points to close at 8,910.57, and S&P SL20 index also gained 15 points to close at 2,962.3, and the same momentum was continued during Friday's trading session, and SPI during Friday gained 65 points to close at 8,975.75, and S&P SL20 index gained 1 point, just 1.62 points, to close at 2,963.95 to remark the closure of this week. If we have a look at the turnover levels during Thursday's trading session, the turnover was again dropped when it compared with the previous day to report just a value of 2.7 billion. But during Friday's trading session, that slightly picked up to report a value of 3.1 billion. But overall, on a positive note, foreigners continued to buy, and they managed to report a net foreign inflow of 220 million throughout the week. So during Friday's trading session, we could have seen both the indices gaining, and the major reason was the CBSL's announcements regarding the policy rates, that they have decided to keep the policy rates unchanged, which insulated slight of a positivity to market. And the majority of the hotel sector stocks gained during Friday's session, with hope for a boost in Sri Lankan tourism sector. So, overall, within the week, however, after 2 weeks of consecutive gains, the SPI lost 0.57% and S&P SL 20 index declined by 3.52%. Then let me explain you about the treasuries for this week. Apart from 3 months yield, both 6 month and 12 month yields declined by just 1 basis points on a weekly basis. So the 3 month yield, however, increased by 101 basis points to report a value of 29.44%, and it's the current yield for 3 month maturities, and 6 month yield is currently at 28.96%, and 12-month yield is 29.14%. So during the week, the LKR depreciated against US dollar, and currently the indicative rate for LKR to USD stand at 361. And when it comes to Great Britain pounds and euro and Japanese, over these three currencies, LKR slightly appreciated throughout the week. And when we have a look at the economic highlights for this week, the Monetary Board of Central Bank of Sri Lanka has decided at its monetary policy review meeting to keep the major policy rates unchanged. So accordingly, the standing deposit facility rate will be continued to stand at 14.5%, and standard lending facility rate will continue to be a value of 15.5%. So the slowdown in global economic growth, altogether with domestic uh, growth, the contraction in overall domestic growth, and the heightened inflation, but concerning the overall positive developments in Sri Lanka, they were the major consideration for CBSL, or Central Bank of Sri Lanka, to arrive with the said decision. And CBSL in the believe that Israel economy will contract by over 8%, which they have previously announced as 7.5%, though they are anticipating it will positively reflect in faster recovery next year. So they are expecting overall contraction of over 8% during this year in Sri Lankan economy. And also their initial expectation was the inflation to rise over 70%, but now it has revised back to hover a value in between 60% to 65%, with the upward revision of electricity tariffs. And apart from that, the central bank governor is in belief that the domestic debt will not be restructured, as if they choose to restructure domestic debt, it won't help recovery of external debt, and will not supportive for the revival of entire economy. And the Ministry of Finance very recently, all along with this monetary policy review, has published an update regarding the development of ongoing debt restructuring program, and with the IMF support program, and which is even publicly available in Finance Ministry's official website. So you all can access to get an idea about the debt restructuring program that was currently ongoing in Sri Lanka. And apart from that, UK announces the launch of its development countries trading scheme, or in short term known as DCTS, which attempts to replace the previous generalized scheme of preferences, or commonly known as GSP. So Sri Lanka is one of the 65 countries that was included to the said trading scheme, and Sri Lanka is recognized to be fall under the category of enhanced framework or preferences. With that, it permits Sri Lanka to export additional 156 products to UK region upon lowered or removed tariffs, and that will cover a totally £2 billion worth of trade with UK. So currently, total trades with UK amount to be 1.5 billion sterling pounds as of the fourth quarter ended the 2021 first quarter, which accounts for 0.1% of UK's total trades. And with this new launch of this trading scheme, the British expects the scheme will benefit Sri Lanka upon the duty-free exports to UK on more than 80% of exports, and they are in the belief that it will help Sri Lanka to boost overall economic activities by supporting jobs. So these are from key economic highlights, and then let me take you through some commodity market news. So during the week, the four major commodities that we concern here resulted declines. Oil prices declined due to the concerns regarding global economic slowdown that will affect on falling the demand, the overall demand for fuel. But with that, the price declining trend, we could expect the inflation to come down because the rising oil prices were one of the major consideration for the ongoing rising in inflation. So with the calm down of it, we could expect overall inflation to come down. And gold prices also fell during the week with the strengthened dollar and the higher yields for US bonds. And aluminium prices also declined with its weakening demand. Looking at the financial markets, majority of the world stocks ended up with the gains for another trade session, and US stocks was also ended higher during yesterday's trading session with the gains from the technology shares. But anyhow, some of the Asian markets reported declines throughout the week with the added concerns regarding the health of Chinese overall economic activities with the impact from COVID, and also with these concerns, some the overall Asian market acted on a mixed note during this week. And these are basically the points that I have to deliver from my end. Here onwards, Harin will continue the presentation. Over to you, Harin.
Thank you, Sachini. Thank you for the wonderful update on the fundamentals and the rest of the other markets. So let's look at US oil for this week, since we looked at, let's say, USD in the previous week. So US oil this week seems to be trading at the nearly to the daily resistance 92, 94, where the price is actually trading at 90, and the market will be closed in another few hours. So 1 hour, approximately 1 hour and 55 minutes. So looking at the daily resistance, so looking at the next daily resistance, we have it which is around $100, which is also a psychological area. So in order to achieve that key area, the price needs to break above 92, 94, and then make few retests. So eventually, if we see a small projection, that would be initially would like to be like this. So the price needs to break the daily resistance and make a retest in order to make it a successful daily support level. And then only will be able to see it to making its way towards the daily resistance 100, 102. Worst case scenario that could happen would be basically rejection from this area daily resistance could initially bring down the price to the structure low that we have currently at around 85, 88, and breaking that structure low would initially bring the price again to a level of daily support level 83, 85. So that would be the projection where US oil could basically head towards in the coming week. Making breaking this structure low would be the daily support that we have 83, 85, and breaking this resistance, we might be able to see it touching the high of 96.55, which was recorded on 3rd August 2022. So that would be tested only if the daily resistance breaks. And yeah, so RSI, let's see, adding the RSI, what is the current RSI? So at the RSI comes to level of mid-range, which is actually 42.38 at the moment, but since it's in the mid-range, so we don't have much of a clear indication from that end. So, but looking at it in the EMA levels, the price seems to be still trading below the 18 EMA. So, in order to price for go above, makes it way to the bullish momentum, it needs to trade above 18 EMA and also the 8 EMA key level. So, 8 EMA, as we can see, if we zoom in a bit, the price seems to be trading above the 8 EMA and in between 18 and 80 EMA. So therefore, and also it's trading near the stage resistance. So it needs to break the 18 EMA and the daily resistance. Then only will be able to see a bullish momentum. Else, touching the structure low, which is recorded on 16th of August, 85.74. Breaking that would be the next daily support level, 83 to 85 key level. Yes. So let's look at all share index for this week. And this week, what we basically had was over the past few days, we had some sort of a sell off, a profit taking, and the index came to level of daily resistance at 89, 8,959,000, where the last closing was 8,975.75. So the psychological area of 9,000, therefore the index needs to sustain about this 9,000, and then only will be able to see it moving towards the next daily resistance 9,450, 9,500. After breaking the structure high, which is 9,284.11, which is recorded on 16th August. So in breaking the structure high, we'll be able to see the index moving towards the daily resistance of 9,450, 9,500, and further breaking that would be the 10,000, which is the next psychological area that we have. Therefore, index needs to sustain about daily resistance and break makes way uh, above the daily resistance, close above the daily resistance, and test the structure first, the structure high that is recorded on August 16th August. Then only will be able to see it going further up. So as I have added 18.8 and also the 100 EMA. Index is trading above all the EMAs, so this gives us some sort of clear indication that short to medium term it is bullish. So 18.8 EMA, which I have added, is basically gives a proper indication, and also the 100 EMA that short to medium term index is quite bullish. And failure to sustain over this daily resistance could actually bring down the index, or this key area between 8,450 to 9,000 could be accumulation area, which would basically range, which will be ranging area for the index. That could only happen if it only breaks this key level that I have added, which is approximately around 8,836.18, which was actually April 6th high. So, and it needs to break that key area level and come down to the level of 8,450, 8,500, and then only will be able to see it making some sort of accumulation area over this area, basically ranging in between 8,450 to 9,000 key area. Next would be our top pick of the week, which is Agsta PLC. RSI, the daily RSI comes to level of 73.56, so which is quite overbought at the moment. But there's some sort of rejection that has happened over the area of daily resistance 12.513 as well. Yeah, so the price needs to break this daily resistance 12.5 to 13, and then only will be able to expect it to the next daily resistance of 15.516. The price seems to be trading over the 18 and 80 EMA levels, which gives us a clear indication that it is quite bullish in the short term. As we add our 100 EMA, the price also trading above the 100 EMA. So we can change this EMA to 50 EMA as well. Let's see what could be. Yeah, so basically trading above 50 EMA as well, which means 18, 8, 50, 100. The price is trading above all the EMAs at the moment. If the price breaks the daily resistance, the next daily resistance could be tested. Else, the price could accumulate this in this area between 9.5 to 13. Or clear a rejection from this key area of 12.5, 13 could actually bring down the price down to the daily support 9.5, 10, or even make its way towards accumulation or ranging area. So that's it from my end. Please do like and subscribe this video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.